the courier on the other side of the map, but Siamese Cat will pay the ultimate price. But back to my thoughts, Cinderin. We've seen different types of heroes picked because of the fact that you can go through these gates. There's a lot more global presence. I mean, Underlord is a great example, just having extra global presence on top of everything that's in the map. How does this change everything in the mid lane, which was actually, there's very little change to speak of? If like, based on all the other stuff around it, do you think that we're going to be seeing different types of lanes? Like, maybe we go back to a mid lane where there's 2 players playing in there or something weird like that?
I mean, the fact that you can already see Aster's adaptation, right? They first pick their mid, which is very unusual in the last patch, right?
That's true.
So
Nisha, he's going to get caught off guard here. Able to maneuver to the other side. As Mickey is actually going to show up, pops his ult as well, looking for a collateral kill as Insania comes to fight in addition, but a nice glimpse onto Baboka. That looks to be at least 1 kill. And they're going to try to chase off the clockwork as well. And he gets off the cogs just in time. A couple more right clicks should do it, though. So 2 supports killed in favor of Liquid, but Batrider, Zai, not able to finish off Monet, who's now getting chased by the rest of Liquid. This should be an easy one, although Sunder comes into fruition. McKay takes the brunt of that damage, barely lives, and Boxy and Insania all getting chased away by Monet.
Dude, what is happening bottom? He was dove between the towers by Zai, and Zai just got killed by the TP on his own, it seems. Just not playing the limits correctly so far on this bat. Getting punished quite hard by Monet on the Terrorblade, and it's once again, it's just really big news for Aster, because this was a lane we were expecting to be a nightmare for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So going back to what you said about mid, I think the way it's been playing out so far is that a lot of rotation just happened dynamically all the time between top and bot with the gates, obviously. So I think what some teams will probably be looking for are mid heroes that are self-sustainable and don't need a lot of help, but can also join and have a major impact when these side lane fights happen. So, for example, we saw earlier today, we saw Leshrek played by EG, we saw Pango played by Gaming Gladiators, heroes that TP in and have immediate impact. And Storm kind of fits the bill too, right? You TP in, you can connect on these side lane fights immediately and do some meaningful damage and maybe find some kills here or there. I don't know if that means you can first pick those heroes, but I do think the repertoire of mid heroes will be different, and there will be less focus on that lane in particular. I don't know if I feel like dual laning mid just wouldn't be worth it still.
Yeah, probably not. But it is going to be interesting to see how things evolve, just considering like the mid lane, the runes, like not that much has actually changed on that side of the map, right? But everything around it has changed so drastically that eventually there's going to be a domino effect in the mid lane. We have seen a lot of action already. 7-5 advantage for Liquid right now, but they're slightly down in net worth. As Nisha, in terms of net worth, middle of the pack. And you can see SumaiL just under that, so the mid lane not exactly going amazingly for either side, just because of the ganks and all the action we've seen. Might be seeing a smoke here. See one from Liquid, likely one from Aster coming as well.
Radiant are scanning.
Looks like they have their sights set on the top side of the map. XXS is farming away. As is Vanguard, relatively tanky. Boundless Strike is there, Impale to follow. Inside that Wukong's command, trying to block him. But XXX is pretty tanky. TP's coming in, Monet pops his Metamorphosis, and now they're just chasing the rest of Liquid away. Primal Roar into Nyx, that's a quick, easy pickup for Aster. And now the focus is on Nisha. Trying to dodge a little bit of damage with that Mischief. He'll find his way out of here. A big nuke there from Baboka on the creeps, very important. As this is kind of separated a bit.
Is getting really nasty in fights like this, but nighttime does end for Mickey now.
That's true. And here comes the Rocket Flare with that extra slow on top of it, and Mickey is donezo. So sticking around a little bit too long.
Yep, that was a Beastmaster 10-minute Crimson Guard, and he popped that, and nobody did damage to him anymore. All of the attacks did 0.
Yep.
So
that change is, I mean, this item was kind of forgotten other than in certain lineups where you're going against a lot of small attacks from like creeps or whatever. The fact that it's tied to your strength game now is huge. Zai, he gets spotted. Electric Vortex is there. XXS with the axes, and they're going to use the lasso. Zai does try to get away. SumaiL looks to be fine, so it's kind of broken up.
So there's multiple things. Okay, we might not have time for that just yet. We still want to fight Nisha.
Nisha, he's going to get caught off. Doesn't have his Jingu stacks up. He's just dead. Very simple kill here from Aster as Boxy gets stuck inside the cogs, and Zai's getting chased down by the rest of Aster who've come with numbers. Getting slowed perpetually as Boxy looks to be the easy pickup. Zai does get away. Either way, 2-0 advantage for Aster as they have built a 4K lead already.
Yeah, this is, I just have to say, this is going completely differently from what I expected, right? The side lanes, which are always going to be, at least for now in this patch, what we're seeing have really been the determining factor a lot. If the mid lane goes very one-sided, that's obviously going to snowball onto the rest of the map, but I think most of the time when players get fair matchups, so to speak, the mid lane is just kind of going to be a wash a lot of the time. But these side lane matchups for Aster have just gone way above and beyond what I thought they would. The bottom lane, I think Terrorblade's game has been way better, and Beastmaster, top net worth, currently 12 minutes in, is really paving the way for them to just play aggressively. With that fast Crimson, feels like you're just negating everything Monkey King does. Yeah. So to try to recap why this item is so good right now, it scales with your strength. So certain heroes that have big strength gains will get way more damage block. But on top of that, barriers are really special in this patch. Let me just make sure. This isn't a barrier, right?
Which one? Crimson?
Crimson is not a barrier.
Is it not? I see some action next to the Lotuses. Siamese Cat has his battery assault, but this will likely lead to a kill unless the rest of Aster want to actually fight. And there's a TP coming in inside the cogs, but that will be a free clockwork kill. But here comes SumaiL with the electric vortex. See on the Boxy, but he's going to get glimpsed. Well, they had the damage potentially to kill him, but the rest of Aster have shown up.
I think that was a good
Boxy
glimpse.
on the run.
I actually don't think they could have killed him there, and they're going to mitigate their losses. They'll lose Boxy here probably. Yep. Eventually.
It'll take a bit, but... And Nyx was...
okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, so...
SumaiL, though, glimpsed. Is that enough for the kill? It is.
Okay.
So Insania picking up a very important kill in the mid laner for Aster.
So, all right, so correct me if I'm wrong. The reason this is important is that, so the math on barriers have changed, or we say changed. Barrier wasn't a thing until now, right?
Yeah.
But to give you an example, with Pipe, in the previous patch, Pipe would block 400 magical damage, and then the Pipe would wear off. Now it blocks 400 after reductions. So it means first your magic resistance comes into play, and then the barrier is calculated. So if you have a hero that has 50% magic resistance, the Pipe now blocks 800 instead of 400, right? Effectively. That's why it's important whether Crimson Guard is a barrier or not, because then the armor becomes a part of the equation in a different way. But I don't think it's a barrier. It's just flat out just blocking way more than it was before because it scales with your strength. So right now, Beastmaster's sitting on 57 strength, which means the Crimson Guard blocks 75 plus... What is it? 70 plus 50% of his strength, so about 100 flat.
So, just to be sure here,
yeah,
the strength is based off of him for all his allies,
I believe so. Yeah,
it's not based on theirs. As Monet gets stuck, oh boy,
yeah, it's his.
This will be a very big kill. It does have Sunder, but he's gonna get lassoed. Do they have enough damage? No, the Sunder comes out onto a teammate, and the Pigpole activated. Still the Firefly though for Zai. Gonna be able to see him, they spot him, and there's the electric vortex stun. So Zai picked off, and Monet again will live. Now completely out of mana, but they do find the kill in the end.
So tanky with Crimson Guard bat.
Monet's only, the fact that he's only died once on this TB this game is
it's
insane.
It's really, really important for Aster for sure. So yeah, as you said, the Crimson Guard is based on the caster strength, and the downside compared to the previous patch is that the guard duration is way shorter. So it blocks for 8 seconds instead of 12, but the flat amount that it blocks in team fights is just enormous. A lot of heroes, like, say Monkey King, for example, right now, Monkey King hits for 90 a pop, Crimson Guard blocks him entirely, and it blocks his ult as well, right? So it's just like really impactful in this point in the game. You see Beastmaster, it's also telling, right? XXS is, he's against Night Stalker, so he's just like, okay, I'm just not gonna go Dominator, right? But now he has way more luxury than he did. Okay, hang on, Nisha.
Oh, dodges the hook shot. My goodness, that was close.
So in the previous patch, this would feel really annoying as Beastmaster. I was like, oh man, I'm playing against Night Stalker. I can't go my only item that I buy literally every game, Helm of the Dominator. But now it's just like, whatever, you know? I'll just buy Crimson Guard. That's amazing. I'll buy Greaves. Those are great. And XXS, despite being picked into this bad match, was having massive impact on the Beast, and his lane went great too. Also, for some reason, in 733, the mana cost of axes went from 65 to 50.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So Beastmasters are literally just spamming axes in lane. at minimal cost. It's pretty crazy
Dire's top tower
how
is
much
under
laning
attack.
prowess this hero actually has with that
Radiant's
access
middle tower
change.
is
So
under attack.
Well, let's talk about some of the builds here, especially for a hero like Night Stalker, as we're going to see the first Roche attempt of the game.
he's up here for another 3 minutes.
Yeah.
More than enough time.
But from Liquid's side, Mickey has the Echo Saber. I assume he's taking this apart to make the BKB. But my question is, as looks like Monkey King also has the Echo Saber. Are we going to see a Harpoon in this game, Cinderin? Please.
Radiant's
Do you think
bottom
Harpoon
tower
is good?
under attack.
I think it's good on certain heroes. I think heroes that want to buy Echo Saber anyway, it's just a feels good upgrade, right? Like
Shot
that.
Nisha, he's in a bit of trouble, but Insania is there with the Static Storm. They're using it as a getaway.
And they're
Got
going
a
to
glimpse as
TV.
well.
All right.
So it looks like that's thwarted. Although Insania might be the collab. Yeah, they should be able to get. Although Nisha wants to show his presence. Yeah, they're gonna have to give it up. But still, that was 4 or 5 heroes.
Oh yeah, Storm is
in the mid lane.
amazing with Lotuses. My goodness.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a flat out mana potion you just bring with you around when you're going for these jumps and you have extra. Speaking of Storm, SumaiL was level 9 when they did Roche, Terribly was level 12, and the Beastmaster was level 11. So the mid hero is just getting completely out leveled by his side laners in this game so far. Like, and SumaiL's been active and he has pretty decent farm. It's just kind of weird to look at the level distribution, right? It's a 10 level mid hero, 12 Beast, 13 Terrorblade at this point. For the side of Liquid, it's a bit more of an even spread. They're definitely on the receiving end right now and in some serious trouble now. Zai's going to get spotted here by XXS.
Yeah,
The roar.
Roar is there, but no follow-up yet. There it is, the hook shot into the SumaiL initiation.
Full chain stun. Could use the Crimson.
Of course, they still have that Aegis for SumaiL, best Aegis carrier in the game.
And this is the third, just to clarify, this is the third game in a row that Aster picked Storm. And the 2 games they had against Betboom, 1 game they played with Io, 1 game they play now with Pugna, and the other one in that series they also played with Pugna. Seems to be Aster's S-tier strat right now is we're going to first pick Storm, we're going to give him a battery, and he's literally just going to jump all over the map and kill people. I mean, so far so good, but
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
it's also fair to say that the laning stage probably left something to be desired for the side of Liquid. The side lanes just did not go well, especially bottom. Bit of a letdown on that front, and you know, maybe we just need to update our way of thinking about it. Maybe this bottom lane outcome was expectable, but considering that Liquid did last pick the bat, I think this was not how they thought that matchup was going to go. But
By the way,
you know, everyone's going to learn right now.
kind of a big deal. Aster gets the tier 2 tower already in the bot lane. We're approaching 20 minutes. They can theoretically steal the Tormentor.
They are set up for that for sure.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See if Liquid try to contest. They do smoke up. They're going to try to backstab. Scary proposition. Mickey pops the ult, going for Baboka. Gets the silence off. Up to newly picked up BKB as well, but he's getting safe for the time being. Roar comes out, ults the Monkey King in place. Finally, they get the Pugna, but here's initiation from Siamese Cat. A beautiful hook shot, forcing 3 heroes from Liquid away. Still the Wukong command lives on. As Monet took it off the Sunder, though. SumaiL basically out of mana, but Nisha is completely outnumbered. So it's a 3 for 2 in favor of Aster, still maintaining that Aegis. And we'll see if they go for the Tormentor now.
Did you see how long he survived on the Pugna? Just immediately gets Crimson guarded, and Night Stalker was hitting him for no damage.
SumaiL does not want to die. Although Boxy wants to go in, and actually he gets it. So Zai ends up getting the shard because of the steal from Boxy, and he somehow lives. Unreal.
So clean. My goodness.
That was sick. And he almost died to the Tormentor as well.
Vendetta just amazing for stealing, obviously.
Yeah.
A high amount of flat damage coming out.
Trying to get some revenge. Zai with a very big kill. Keeping him down in net worth, although he is still top of his team, but still 4th. Count the rest of Aster.
You really wonder when you're seeing these fights play out if going Crimson on the bat was the right choice versus, say, a Pipe. If he wants to go on Aura item, that would have been really good against the Storm and the Pugna, but then it would have been worse against the Terrorblade and the Beastmaster summons. So you kind of have to pick your poison. But SumaiL is really just, he's not soloing him, but he's doing so much damage to the bat. And Zai just can't protect himself right now. Whenever he gets jumped, he's just dead. His mid tower looks to be next on the menu for Aster.
Yeah. Well,
pretty substantial lead that they've built themselves at this point, by the way. 8K, 22 minutes in. Boxy spotted.
Boxy gets initiated on, and he's dead. take some time, but they'll get him. They'll get the tier 2 tower.
I just gotta go high ground.
Well, Aegis is down in 30 seconds, so SumaiL can kind of burn a bit of HP. Does have to be careful with the lasso, of course. I want to get brought back into the enemy lines. You see the Crimson going to work. That was picked up by Zai, who... I mean, Batrider's a universal hero now, right? So, Crimson... keep building strength-related stuff is decent. SumaiL, he's going to find Mickey, though. This would be a huge kill. He pops his BKB. That's going to get out of dodge. He's going to get right-click down. That's a very easy kill for SumaiL. Surprisingly easy. Baboka, he's on the high ground. So that's the sacrifice, but Aster will take it.
Yeah, that's that BKB change. SumaiL does not get that kill in the last patch, I'll tell you that much, but he has so much magic damage that still goes through there. His Witchblade, the damage from his remnants, the overload damage, it was enough to solo kill the NS there, and I think Mickey was not expecting to die there whatsoever, but yeah, it was just narrowly enough.
I mean, that's something we haven't really talked about is the BKB changes. We have a hook shot, so you have to hold that horse again. Sania looks to be donezo. How often do you think, like with the new changes, other games where you just don't go BKB that you would have before? As Zai, his TP gets canceled, he gets brought down. Boxy shows himself trying to save his teammate, although Nisha's in the vicinity as well, so he gets out the balance strike. Remember, SumaiL does not have the Aegis, but he's still going to get the kill. He's going to get glimmered, and now Nisha has to be a bit careful. Although the Night Stalker has come to finally finish off SumaiL. The unstoppable streak has finally been ended. But the rest are going high ground. That's what they care about. Meta. That's going to be a mid lane for Aster.
Yep, they're going to maybe look for glimpse kills here potentially, but they're going to link in Monet, so they will go for Pichu for now.
They're not going to go any further
into this. Yeah, Aster with a... I mean, completely dominant game, sure. You get that trade-off there and you finally bring an end to Storm's life, but he was effectively forcing a... Was that 1v3? And he ended up getting kills while his team was raxing mid. That's not what you're looking for as Liquid there whatsoever.
Liquid is certainly on the back foot right now.
Signal wanting the D ward, he's not going to get anything.
Here I am!
This area is on lock. Interesting to see Aster's choice to not get their own Tormentor, right? They were trying to steal the one from Liquid. They failed, and they've just not gone back because they don't want to give up map control. I think their mindset right now is we're ahead. We're on their half of the map. We have no reason to ever let them out again if we can avoid it. And because they have Beastmaster and because they have Rocket Flare, they probably have a really good chance at constantly finding heroes moving around the map. Speaking of which, Boxy might actually find something here. Baboka wants to get all the Lotuses.
That's a lot of Lotus.
He's gonna let it get delicious before he jumps.
He cares more about the kill, which Nisha will help
fair
out.
enough. But that is quite
shows
the
up.
Lotus grab.
Spot Boxy, there's the hook shot. Just assume that this will be yet another kill going for Aster. Nisha, okay. SumaiL gets lasso. He's all alone right now. Just had enough mana to get out, but gets glimpsed back to where he came from. There's the Static Storm on top. Renee pops the BKB inside, though. Nice Thunder onto SumaiL. Beautifully done. He's going to live as a result, but there's the roar. It looks like Aster actually want to get out, and here comes the crippling fear from Mickey. He's trying to right-click down SumaiL, so despite the Sunder will actually drop. Next Success is going to get spotted, despite the Glimmer. Liquid doing a really good job of cleaning up these heroes left, right, and center. They get basically everybody outside of the Terrorblade.
That's amazing.
Triple kill for Nisha and an opening for Liquid.
Yep. That's a huge comeback. That one buyback and the area that they take that fight in really favoring them. And obviously with Terrorblade using the Sunder on Storm, he's out of juice and he has to just get out of there. So I really like the Sunder. It's clutch, but the fact of the matter is SumaiL is already really low on mana, so he doesn't have that much to give, and the crippling fear coming in here from Mickey from the side just really seals the deal. I think, do Aster have a single Force Staff? They do not. Which
Not as of yet.
Pretty uncharacteristic when you're playing against Night Stalker, to be fair. Not having that one utility item that really solves crippling fear, they might have to itemize it now. Clockwork's queuing one up at least, but it's quite a ways away at this point, so when SumaiL does get caught and doesn't have his BKB just yet, very well be taken down.
Finally, they're going. I mean, they don't even have a shard at all, like purchasing or otherwise from Aster. So they finally get one. It's gonna be on the clock, which I'm trying to decide. Let's see. It was between clock
Looking for me?
and
Pugna.
the Pugna. Whose would you rather have? I mean, do you think Jetpack's good? You're a Clockwork player. That one seems kind of eh.
I think it's probably better than the Pugna one. I think the Pugna one's really hard to use in this game. When you're
Pugna one, is that the drain?
It's the one where you drain the ward.
Yeah.
I mean, it does give the cast range on the other ward, which is actually pretty nice, but still, it's...
Okay, now I understand why they didn't prioritize the Torment.
Just didn't care.
I mean, if they got the first one, then it's a 50-50 between your next lowest net worth and the next guy, which is like the offlaner, in all likelihood, right? So maybe that is something they would have prioritized if they got the first one, but now eventually do get it 7 minutes after the fact. And Tormentors, they spawn, is it 10 minutes after their
10
death?
minutes after, yeah.
And in terms of Roche, he'll be back up at actually 12 seconds. That's going to be the cheese variation.
The first Tormentor is probably up at like 30-10, right? Because it was killed really fast on Liquid's side. So they will have theirs back. What's going to be a smoke move here from Liquid? Wonder who they really want. If they have like free choice, who the best jump is. I think maybe just killing Pugna would be really nice.
Spotted Nisha, he gets cut down and brought down. Punished hard.
Oh, they were so ready for that. Very quick cook shot there.
Did expend a BKB on Monet.
Yeah, they thought that was going to turn into a bigger exchange.
Oh, they might find Instania. He does have Glimpse, uses it, but dies.
You had your warning.
The 2 quick kills here for Aster as Roche is spawned. And they've spotted him as Zai already used the Firefly. Zip in from SumaiL, still has some mana to speak of. It's the Electric Vortex. This is the one here they do have to worry about in terms of taking Roche to try and steal the Aegis. So another great pickoff for Aster, which should lead to the free Roche.
They're just going to refill SumaiL's mana here with the Pugna as well, so he's going to be fit for fight.
Now the question is, have they been collecting Lotuses or using them? Will we see block of cheese this game?
Oh yeah.
Probably not. We have one great healing. No, it's the grader, right? You need 2 graders.
Yeah, so he has
3 graders.
5 out of 8. Is that it?
Well, you need...
No, wait. You need 12.
You need like 18 total.
Do you?
18 of the normal kind, I think. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't do math.
Yeah. It was very confusing when I built my first block of cheese. How many do I need?
So 3, 6. Wait. I don't understand.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah,
Keep up the good work.
It's 18.
The one thing you're here for is math.
Trust me, bro. It's 18. Okay.
I mean, I told you it was 18.
I know. I'm saying. I just
trust.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Basically a long way.
So you're saying it's 3 graders that make a super grader?
I think so.
Okay. I don't.
And you can...
Just keep
the weird thing is,
Lotus's guys, and if you have a lot and you give it to the cheese man, maybe he will give you a full cheese.
Foxy, he's spotted. Hook shot connect. Nisha might have to just leave his support be. 70 seconds of no Nyx assassin now. I was wondering if we're going to see Phylactery on Nyx. It's actually pretty good. But in a game like this where you're not really getting pickoffs as Nyx, oh boy, this could be an even bigger pickoff, Mickey. BKB, but the roar still goes through. That should be the death of him, and even if he has buyback, which he doesn't.
This is minimum 1 lane of rack.
Yeah.
They have nothing to fight this Terrorblade. Did we even talk about his Diffusal? Which is, you know, a very uncharacteristic item for this one in the previous patch.
He's going that new item.
Monet went Diffusal as his first item, I think, together with the Dragonlance. Yeah, so taking a different approach here. He's looking to finish off the Disperser.
Talk to me about this, because when we read it initially...
I'm not fully sold on this item being particularly good right now. It's nice that you can burst move speed your ally or yourself and dispel.
But the offensive standpoint, as far as we know, doesn't actually upgrade, right?
As far as I know, it's the same as diffusing an enemy. Maybe it's more intense in the slow or whatever, but... I guess at this point, you look at his inventory, it's like it feels good to upgrade your diffusal slot, right? But you can tell that he still prioritized Manta over getting Disperser.
Yeah. Well, Nisha is going to get Crimson guarded. So 2 racks down, looking for Megas, but here's the initiation from Zai, trying to focus down Monet. He's already at half HP. Can he get up to Sunder in time? Looking for a target, trying to right-click away. There he finally uses it onto Mickey on the outskirts of the Wukong's command. That is a dead Night Stalker. Does have buyback, though, as the Aegis has been consumed. SumaiL back to full HP, full mana, looking for Zai. They spot him with the Sentry. He's brought down. So 2 dead for Liquid as the buyback comes through for Mickey, but he's going to get roared just as he buys back. That is now a dieback. Pops to BKB, but it's all for naught. And Nisha's next. That should be it. GG's called. Aster run away with game number 1. All right.